November 30, 1948. A couple is walking along an Adelaide beach when they spot a man seated, leaning against the seawall. The man seemed odd, as he was wearing a full suit and polished shoes. The couple see him raise his hand as if he's drunkenly trying to light a cigarette, but his arm limply flops back into his lap. Another couple, a little while later, see the same man with mosquitoes flying around him, but they guess he's just too drunk to wave them away. But the man isn't drunk at all. He's in fact dying. Join us this week as we look into the 7-decade-old mystery of the Somerton Man. Intro music.
That bloke's dead.
Welcome to Cheeky Tales. If you are a regular listener, thank you for listening, and well, you know the drill. If you are new, welcome.
You know the drill.
You know the drill. Welcome. This fortnight, I am your storyteller, John, and with me, and I can see he hasn't forgotten his ears. Actually, I can't because he's got headphones on. Aaron, hi boy.
Hello, boy. I've got ears.
You got ears. And of course, Sean, our producer, laptop at the ready. Welcome.
Shalom.
We're sandy right now.
We are very sandy.
Have you not desanded?
I've not had a shower.
Is that what I can smell?
Oh,
I changed clothes and gave my bottom a wipe as I had some swamp ass.
I wiped
TMI.
every part of my body with my hand, but there's still sand. I can tell.
I washed my hands.
Actually, no, I can't smell you, boy. All I can smell is red rooster.
Sean and I play beach volleyball. We're not just sandy guys.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the sand. It gets everywhere.
Boo.
From the worst film. Well, no,
No,
3
it's
wasn't
not.
too bad.
3 wasn't too bad. 3
It's
was
not
good.
even the right film. You suck. It's from 2.
Is it?
Oh, it is 2. It is from 2. My
There you
mistake. My mistake. I mean, it's still not the worst film, but
No.
I like the prequel trilogy.
Not anymore.
I like the prequel trilogy as a whole, though.
Oh, I like the prequel trilogy.
Yes.
I think it's 2 of the worst films of all time, followed by a pretty decent one.
Oh my God. What?
Yeah, I don't like 1 and 2.
What?
You, as much
What
as
is wrong with you?
as much as
You like them because you were a kid. You like them because you love everything Star Wars. I'm the only impartial one here.
that
4,
was
5, and 6, phenomenal.
that was the first time we've actually mentioned this was Star Wars. For anyone who didn't know what
True.
we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Um,
Anyway, at Cheeky Tales Pod on Facebook,
You
Twitter,
shut
and
your mouth.
Instagram.
as much as one can be deleted and not impact the story at all,
No,
it gave
no,
us
no.
it gave us Jewel of the Fates. Shut up. Jewel of the Fates is the best damn song to come out of Star Wars.
It set up the character that we needed to begin by loving.
Oh yeah, I get
and
that.
then grow to hate. It was important.
Yeah, I get
It's
that.
a film that if you condensed it into a 5-minute recap, you still get the same amount of information.
Yeah, but what did it
Also
have?
true.
We've had discussions about this in the past, that what is the thing that everybody wants from Star Wars movies?
Lightsaber fights. And
Lightsaber
it had
fights.
one of the best damn
It had
lightsaber fights
Cool as lightsaber
in the
fights,
whole.
some cool
trilogy.
blaster stuff, some cool fighter stuff as well. Like
I
with the
can't
whole
argue
scene.
with these facts. However, I still hate that film. And don't even get me started on 2.
And don't come at me saying I just love it because of Star Wars. I do not like 8.
Yeah, again, not good.
So
Anyway,
moving on from Star Wars.
No one likes.
did you just burp into the mic?
It wasn't intentional. Cut
Pig.
it. Cut it. Cut it.
You were like halfway through a word.
Yeah, cut it.
So, so after that Star Wars talk,
Mm.
I think
Somerton Man.
yeah. But before we get to the Somerton Man, I think we should do a Anzac Day shout out because this episode is out on Anzac Day.
Oh, it is too.
It does come out on Anzac Day, yeah.
Yes.
Do
Sean,
Sean,
being an ex-serviceman,
Do
would
you
you
wanna-
like to
would you like to do the shout
shoulder the
out?
weight on this one as well?
I'd rather. Look, I hope everyone's having, and those that are actually listening on Anzac Day, hope everyone's having a nice time. Hope that you did something to commemorate the history of armed forces in Australia as a whole. You don't have to go to a dawn service as long as you go to something that you're at least showing your support. For me, Anzac Day is, and this is contentious, but it's really Australia Day. It's the day that we actually all 100% get together and just be proud of who we are as a nation through the eyes of our military background. But it's a really important day. So hopefully everybody commemorates it in some special way, whether it's something at home, you got young kids and you can't do anything, so you just make something out of arts and crafts or something. I have no idea. It doesn't really matter. Or you go to a service in the day, or you even go to the street parade. And if you're at the street parade and you saw me walking along tooting my trombone, g'day.
There you go. Have a wonderful Anzac Day and thank you for our current and previous servicemen and women.
Thank you very much.
You know what would have been good to do?
What?
The Rats of Tobruk. That would have been an excellent
Yeah.
episode to do this one.
We have a
Missed
thing on
opportunity.
Cheeky Tales where we do not do theme episodes on the right time.
Not the right
No,
note.
and we've
We
also
think about
tried.
it about a week after we release.
We've also been trying to steer out of the skid of becoming a World War II podcast
Oh,
Yeah.
because our biggest episodes, Midway?
Excuse me, sir. Everest is the
Everest
biggest
is the
episode
biggest.
now,
No, it's not.
It
It has been for a while.
followed by Midway.
Is Everest really number one?
Yeah.
How did that one shoot to number one? That's a dark horse.
Hot topic.
You say that, Sean, but in the last week I have come across 2 World War II stories I want to cover.
Man, we're doing a lot of exposition in this episode.
Oh, yeah. Lots of little bits.
That's all right. I counted for banter, so it's all good. It's all part of the plan. I've got
It's
it
actually
written
on
down.
the schedule John's got on the TV in front of us.
Exactly. It's part of the script.
Part-
Everything that we've just said was all
Everything's
scripted.
scripted. It's all a lie.
Alrighty, so I have titles for this episode.
Oh, good.
Done some-
I like that every episode now we're like, hey guys, I've got titles.
I
Like
know.
we're not doing it every episode.
I don't do it every episode, but this episode
What's
I
your
do.
first title, boy?
The Body Discovered and Early Investigation.
Oh, very descriptive.
Very descriptive.
Shall I read out the Wikipedia
Oh,
label
please
of
tell
that
me.
paragraph, which
Please
is
tell me it's the
initial discovery and investigation, discovery of body.
One thing that has become very clear with Sean producing is how much plagiarism you're doing.
There's a bit. I changed it a bit.
Woo!
Good,
Yeah, just enough.
good luck keeping up, Sean, because
I haven't been great the last couple of weeks. I get too wrapped up in the story.
I don't know. For different reason. There is a lot that happens in this story at multiple times. So I've tried to keep information together.
Mhm.
It just means we jump through times, like back and forth in times and parts of the information a lot. So I've
damn
put
it.
it in my own order. So you'll be going up and down that Wikipedia page all day.
Wikipedia.
So the man's body was discovered by 2 apprentice jockeys on December 1st, 1948 at around 6:30 a.m.
How long is a jockeying apprenticeship?
Sean looks that up. He's put the microphone down.
I can't imagine it. Like, how much can you need to know?
I'm going to say 2 years.
Old reins, whip.
It was discovered at Somerton Park Beach, which is near Glenegg, about 11
Glenelg.
kilometres.
Glenelg.
Glenelg.
So close.
Glenelg. I bloody made sure I looked that up and I still
Oh, you
stuffed
bloody
it.
Glenegg.
Glenelg, about 11 kilometres southwest of
I think we found a new bit.
Adelaide. Adelaide, sorry. About southwest of Adelaide.
Such a Glenegg.
There you've done me. The police,
Got him.
the police were alerted and a crime scene was established. Initial investigations of the Somerton Man revealed no obvious cause of death. He had not been shot, stabbed, or seemingly injured at all. He was seated on the sand, back against the wall, legs outstretched, and were serenely crossed.
You can find photos on our social.
I don't think there's photos of that.
Queensland
Yeah,
government,
there's photos of him lying on the ground.
Is there?
Yeah.
Queensland Government, Department of Employment, Small Business and Training. The apprenticeship and training details of a jockey. I don't know why, but it also has a link to please refer to Norfolk Island policy for apprenticeships and traineeships.
They have horse racing on Norfolk Island?
No, I think it's,
Oh, just in
just in
general,
general.
okay.
So, an apprenticeship for a jockey will gain a high level of skill in race riding and horse handling skills that require application of problem solving skills. It doesn't actually say how long. It says you can do it full time, part time, or school based. Let's see, maybe averaged 7.5 hours per week of paid employment. This may
Why
be
do you
averaged over
keep
a 3-month
wagging
period.
jockey school?
Yeah, jockey school.
I talked over how long it was, didn't I?
He didn't say.
I'm
Oh.
trying to find it. Doesn't just says minimum entry age 15, full time, start date, end date, probation period 90 days, nominal term months 48 months, so 2 years.
2 years. There you go.
Yeah,
Told it, said 2 years. I
Good
did
job.
say 2 years, didn't I?
John, the horse racing expert.
John, the horse
Correct.
racing expert. He's a horse guy.
I'll give you those tips later. He was dressed in a white shirt with a red, white, and blue tie, brown trousers, socks, recently polished shoes, a brown knitted pullover, and a grey and brown double-breasted jacket, which was apparently of American tailoring. Do you know the difference here, boy, between, say, an American, British, and Italian jacket?
No.
Okay, I did a quick Google search. I've preempted this one, Sean. so don't have to do it.
that's going to take a while.
So it means an American style jacket has like slightly lower armholes and usually has 3 buttons, and it's a looser boxer, like more of a box shaped fit.
Okay.
and the vent, the split is at the back. Whereas like British and Italian have 2 buttons. Italians are very tight fitting. There's no like vents, well they call them vents, but the splits.
Yeah.
And the British style has like the splits on the sides. So that's the difference. Didn't realise there was a difference, but
I did not know that either.
all the labels on the man's clothes had also been removed, and one of the pockets in his pants had been repaired with an unusual orange thread. He had no hat, which is strange for 1948, and he was without a wallet. He was described by pathologist John Cleland as a man of British appearance and was thought to be between the ages of 40 and 45. He was also in top physical condition.
Well,
he's dead.
I
But
wouldn't
At
say he
his
was
time of death, he was in
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
peak physical
anymore.
condition.
Peak physical condition, 180 centimetres tall with grey eyes, fair to ginger hair, which was slightly grey around the temples. He had broad shoulders and a narrow waist, hands and nails that showed no sign of manual labour, and his big and little toes were squished together in a wedge shape, which is consistent with people who wear pointed boots or are a dancer. Also, boy, you look like you were reading something.
Yeah.
What were you reading?
I was trying to get OneDrive to work so I could get my script for next episode ready.
Also,
So he's got pointed toes from his pointy boots.
yeah, like the
Yeah, like
would you
mushed
call
together.
it? Would you
He
call
wears
it
tight shoes.
the
Yeah.
index toe, like the second, not the big toe, like the second toe?
Second toe.
Yeah, and the little toe, like over the top of the middle
Other
toe.
toes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So like squished together.
Oh, wouldn't that hurt?
Not after a while, I guess. He also had pronounced high calf muscles, which is consistent with people who wore boots or shoes with high heels or performed ballet.
Being that he's 5'11",
Hmm.
I'd say probably just wanted to look taller.
Yeah.
It's not very tall.
Hit that 6 foot, baby.
Yeah. In an
5'11" is not short.
Yeah, but in an era where physical stature was just really important.
I'm 180 centimeters, so technically I'm 5'11". I tell people 6 foot, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, there you go. You've learned something about John.
There we go.
He's
the
a
rest, the rest,
liar.
the rest
I
of it's all hair and beard.
I have 6 feet.
My guys, I'm 6 feet.
There were a few things found on his person, and they include an unlit half-smoked cigarette on the right collar of his coat.
Yep.
In his pockets, there was an unused second-class rail ticket from Adelaide to Henley Beach, a bus ticket from the city that was suspected to have not been used, a narrow aluminium comb that was made in the US. Well, since it was made in the US, it was an aluminum comb. A half-eaten packet of juicy fruit chewing gum,
Yum.
an Army Club ciggy packet.
Taste the taste that's gonna move ya. The juicy fruit jingle. No, okay.
I will come back to juicy fruit. Continue, boy.
Like I said, a ciggy packet which contained 7 darts of a different brand.
Siggy's darts.
I chucked them in there a little bit. Not going to find that in Wikipedia, Sean.
No.
The other brand was Consitas and a quarter box full of matches.
Consitas.
Contitas?
Juicy
Yeah,
fruit. How old's the juicy fruit company?
Over 100 years.
Yeah.
I looked it up because it comes back later.
Okay.
Conceita's Club, commonly shortened to Club, is a Scottish brand of cigarettes currently owned and manufactured by the Gallagher Group, a subsidiary of Japan Tobacco.
How old's Juicy Fruit? Or Wrigley's is the maker of Juicy Fruit.
It is.
I believe
Wrigley's, believe it or not.
I believe it's over 100 years.
American brand of chewing gum made by the Wrigley Company. It was first introduced in 1893, and in the 21st century, the brand name is recognized by 99% of Americans, with total sales in 2002 of 153 million.
99%. That's
Why is that a stat? Who cares about that it's recognized by 99% of
People
Americans?
care.
yeah.
If
That's
your brand is brand
that's-
recognition, it's literally a term in the
I know,
industry.
but it's just such a. It just seems like an irrelevant thing to be in the very first paragraph from Wikipedia.
wonder if how does that rate to Coke, like Coca-Cola?
Go.
I guarantee I'm going to type that in, and it will give me. It won't be like, oh, it's recognized by 99.5% of Americans.
Yeah, Coke. It'll just be like, yo, we popular, bruh.
Yep, literally doesn't say it.
Mm.
Do you want to give us a pun, boy?
Oh,
Oh man, I
was trying to go with like Somerton, but come and tell me the story.
Cumberton.
Somerton, so yeah, see, it
Somerton,
doesn't
tell
roll
me,
off the
yeah.
tongue. Oh, Sean's tagging in.
Hey, John, you want to give us all the juicy details?
Very good.
Juicy.
Not
fruit.
bad.
The juicy fruit.
Also, by the way, the juicy fruit flavor, which serves as the model, is kept vague in advertising. However, though, in 2003, advertising agency BBDO characterized it as a combination. What? Caramel?
Because, like, you know how rainbow ice cream is just caramel?
Caramel ice, yeah. Apparently, it's a combination of banana and pineapple. And some people say it resembles jackfruit. According to two books in the Imponderables series, peach is one crucial flavor among many others.
Look, can I just say jackfruit's too popular now?
It is likely that the chemical used for the chemical used for flavoring is isoamyl acetate, sometimes known as banana oil.
There you go.
And welcome back to the Juicy Fruit Podcast.
Welcome back to
Welcome back to the world's most popular brands podcast.
welcome back to what's in this packet.
I'm going to get into some theories later on.
Oh, good.
Um,
Because it seems like it's kind of wrapping up on the details of the death.
Yeah,
wrapping up.
he's
Good
dead.
one.
Yeah.
No, that's not bad.
Got it.
Yeah, the details are we found him. He's dead.
Pretty much. Because initially, police believe he committed suicide. A spanner in the works of the investigation was he carried no identification and his dental records and fingerprints were not able to be matched to any known person. Later on,
Ghost man.
international authorities such as the FBI and Scotland Yard were contacted for help, and neither of them could offer any insight into the case.
Oh, that's good. We got a little mystery on our hands.
Yes, this is one of Australia's most well-known mysteries.
Sorry, I'm a bit further forward, and I'm just like lifting my hands up in disbelief at a very stupid fact about this.
Oh,
All right, let's see if
Bookmark
you can
Bookmark it.
guess what the stupid fact was that Sean was guessing or was reading about.
bookmark it and we'll see if I cover it.
Hit us
Yeah.
up on
I-
@Cheeky Tales
I have
Pod on
left
your
some things
favorite
out.
social pipe and tell us what was Sean surprised about.
Social pipe.
An autopsy was performed, boy, and an estimated time of death was given to be around 2 a.m.
Ooh,
It's important to my fascination.
What
okay.
I
Can
just said.
you guess
it's
what?
important. It's important to
Oh.
whatever Sean was focused about.
Oh, okay.
It's important to it.
Okay. I have an extract from the autopsy, and I'm going to read that. Well, Sean can read it because I just copy-pasted it from Wikipedia. It's a quote. It's a quote from the autopsy.
That's fair.
I can't rewrite that. There's some medical terms in here that I'm about to butcher.
Good.
The pronunciation.
I'm ready.
Little pun.
I love how every time you say pronunciation, you
that
say
right?
it wrong.
Pronunciation.
How do you say pronunciation?
Pronunciation.
It's pronunciation.
That's pronunciation.
Don't care.
If you're a linguistics expert, hit us
Hit us
up
up
on
on
@Cheeky Tales Pod.
This is going to be the most engaged post we've had for a while.
I hope so.
The heart was of normal size and normal in every way. Small vessels not commonly observed in the brain were easily discernible with congestion. There was congestion of the pharynx, and the gullet was covered with whitening of superficial layers of mucosa with a patch of ulceration in the middle of it. The stomach was deeply congested. There was congestion in the second half of the duodenum.
Dodenum.
How do you know he's saying it right?
I don't, but I'm having fun watching him mouth along to the whole quote.
There was blood mixed with the food in the stomach. Both
Gross.
kidneys were congested, and the liver contained a great excess of blood in its vessels. The spleen was strikingly large, about 3 times the normal size. There was a
Hey,
destruction.
baby. I got a big spleen.
What does the spleen do, boy?
Isn't it like it's like acids and stuff, isn't it?
No idea.
Hey, baby, I got a big ass spleen.
There was destruction of the center of the liver lobules,
Lobules.
revealed under the microscope. Acute gastritis, hemorrhage, extensive congestion of the liver and spleen, and congestion to the brain.
What's congestion in this sense?
Doesn't seem to be very clear as to
Because it
what.
just seems like everything's
I'm
congested.
going to say I'm going to guess it just means like it's blocked.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe it's like it's just not processing stuff.
Yeah. It's blocked, or the
I think
vessels
his
are
giant
constricted. Or,
spleen could have helped him.
Cerebral venous congestion is a clinical state of symptoms secondary to relative reduction in venous outflow of the brain. So it's
Cool.
specifically talking about like in these when they're talking about these organs and these vessels, they're talking about when they say congestion that blood is coming in but not as much blood is coming out.
Oh,
there you go. The coroner also had a rummage around in his stomach. And what?
had a rummage around.
Oh, you're going to love the end of this paragraph. I put it in for you. You know how...
It's not like opening the junk drawer that everybody has in their kitchen. Like, oh, where are those scissors?
Sounds like he did. He found that his last meal was a pasty eaten approximately 3.5 hours before death.
Pasty, for one.
Pasty's the thing you put on your lips.
Ready?
It's pasty.
Fuck you. It's a pasty.
It's not. It's a pasty.
Look it up. It's a pasty. It's a British pastry treat. So
hit us up on that. Cheeky Tales Pod.
I'm waiting to be vindicated here.
We're going to put up a poll. Pasty or pasty?
No, it's a separate thing. A pasty is something different.
Yeah, it's the thing you put on your nips.
You put on your nips. That's what a pasty is. You put it over your nipples.
Pretty few.
All right, now we've got 2 producers.
A pasty is a British baked pastry, a traditional variety of which is particularly associated with Cornwall, southwest England, but has spread all over the British Isles. It is a separate thing.
Pasty. It's pasty. 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 It's not pasty.
Pasty. Whatever. Tomato.
Everybody in Australia says pasty except John. Anyway, this is the thing that Sean's fascinated about. This is what I was focused on.
What, so he ate a pasty.
His last meal was a pasty and it was eaten approximately 3.5 hours before death.
When did he die?
2 a.m.
Where the hell did he get a pasty at 10:30 at night in Adelaide in 1948?
Probably Villies.
No.
Probably Villies.
Okay, that's a very good point.
Who used to say he bought it at 10:30? He could have bought it earlier and decided to eat it.
Who eats a cold pasty up the beach at 10:30 at night?
That's a good point.
The Somerton Man.
However, your point about Villies is also a good point, but I don't think that Mr. Villy had opened his bakery in 1948. I think
Villies Pies. It's a 24-hour
cafe.
Well, diner, really.
Yeah, and it's actually not far from where he died. Maybe.
That's because nothing in Adelaide's far.
So many things. If you're on the south side, I'm not getting into the geography of the capital city of Australia. However, it's on the same.
Sean's weirdly passionate about Adelaide.
It's on the same. Yeah, because it's on the same side of town. It's maybe 10 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes drive. And it's on the tram line.
There you go.
Well, there was a tram. Anyway. Sean's fascination's over.
And the test, testing the stuff failed to reveal any foreign substances in the man's body.
All right.
Doctors were quite convinced the death was not natural and the primary suspicion was poisoning, but still nothing was showing. So the coroner was as confused as a pickpocket at a nudist camp. They couldn't identify the body? What?
You've had fun with this script this time, haven't you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I like it.
Don't get me wrong, I love it. It's just coming out of left field.
I was inspired by your Roman Empire pop like a 19th century waterbed. And I'm like, yes. I'm going to chuck one in.
I love putting those in.
So I'm like, I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to chuck one in. And here it is. The coroner was as confused as a pickpocket at a nudist camp. They couldn't identify the body, couldn't confirm the cause of death, and they couldn't even confirm if the man seen alive on the evening before was the same man. Kinda had nothing. The body was embalmed on December 10th, and the police said this was the first time that such an action was needed. Now, we are further down the rabbit hole. That is my next title.
All right. Dig that rabbit out.
Yeah. Is that one in Wikipedia, Sean? No.
I am in. I've got residence in there now. I'm in, under the skin.
Living rent-free. An inquest commenced a few days after the discovery of the body, and one of the things noted in this investigation was that the man's shoes were remarkably clean for someone who had supposedly been wandering around...
On the beach.
The beach.
Well, I was going to say Glenegg, but it's Glenelg. All day.
I appreciate your commitment to Glenegg.
Yeah.
I like it.
The evidence was used this evidence was used to theorise that the body was dumped there. And backing that evidence up was there was no sign of vomiting or convulsing.
Yep.
None of that was found at the scene, which are the two main reactions to poisoning.
Mm. It's getting a bit spooky.
A brown suitcase with its label removed was found by staff at Adelaide Railway Station on January 14th. So this is, 5 weeks after the...
Yeah, because it was in December, wasn't it?
6 weeks after the body was found.
Yeah. Body was found on the feet. Yeah.
It was checked into... So they found what was in his stomach before they found this suitcase. And there's something else they find later on, which is strange. It had been checked into the station cloakroom after 11 a.m. on November 30. It is believed to have belonged to the Somerton Man, and inside they found the following: a red checkered dressing gown, a size 7 red felt pair of slippers, four pairs of underpants, pajamas, shaving items, a light brown pair of trousers with sand in the cuffs. Told you, sand gets everywhere. An electrician's screwdriver, a table knife cut down into a short, sharp instrument, pair of scissors with sharpened points, a small square of zinc thought to have been used as a protective sheath for the knife and scissors, and a stenciling brush, as used by the third officers on merchant ships for stenciling cargo. Also found was a thread of...
It's an oddly specific item.
Well, I guess they got to go into specifics because they can't identify this man, so they got to be like...
Yeah, but why is there a specific thing for third officers on boats to do a job?
It's for stenciling the cargo. That's like a...
He means, yeah, but why is it just third officers?
Yeah, why is it...
I don't know.
Why
Old
Why is
timey.
it just for boats?
I don't know. Why did they dismantle and destroy the replica of the Titanic?
Not the replica. It was the sister
ship.
It was the Olympic and RIP Olympic.
I know. I was trying to trigger John because he gets so upset about
I was
the
about to,
1920s
but I'm
and
going to
30s.
get on with the story. Also found...
Was this also the 30s?
No, 40s.
40s.
Right.
Also found was a thread card of Barbour brand orange waxed thread.
Yep.
Not available in Australia.
Yes. So he's got it from somewhere.
Yeah.
Not here.
Yeah. It was, in fact, the same thread used to repair the man's pocket in his trousers.
Oh, so he's a handyman. He's
Yeah.
sewing his pants up.
All tags had been removed off the clothing as well.
Okay. So somebody wants to be subtle about where they're from.
Either someone wants to be subtle where they're from, or apparently it's common practice back in that time because...
People be stealing your pants.
Well, coming out of depression, yeah. Either you write your name was written on all the tags.
Yeah.
So you could, because not a lot of people had a lot of clothes. And then if you were to purchase secondhand clothes, it would be common practice to cut the tags off.
Yeah, right.
Or someone's being sus and...
Hiding where he's from.
Yep.
Where was the suit from again? Like what was the cut?
It was made from America.
Right.
Yes.
The book.
Oh, I do know about this.
I couldn't... I was trying to think of a funny reference for Alice in Wonderland because I've already said further down the rabbit hole. Spent way too long trying to
We're
think
not
of
in Kansas anymore.
That's not Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, that's the other one.
Some months later, around June 10th, a hidden small piece of paper was also found after a secondary search. It was found in the man's fob pocket in his trousers.
Which one's a fob pocket?
Like your little coin pocket.
Small coin pocket on the right hand
having
side of
your
your
jeans.
trousers.
The one that I hate ironing around.
To put a watch in it.
Fob as in the watch, not the remote to your car. On the rolled up piece of paper was found two words. Tamud shad. Should. Tamud shad.
Talmud.
Should.
Tamam should.
Taman should. Which translated means
Glenegg Beach.
ended or finished and is found on the last page of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. That is a book of selected poems translated from Persian to English. The search was on and it was Australia-wide to find this specific book that this little tiny piece of paper had been torn from.
How did they know it was from that book?
I'm assuming you wouldn't find that phrase
In many places.
in many places.
Yeah, so public library officials were called in to actually translate the text and then identified it as a specific phrase meaning ended or finished, which is always found on the last page of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam.
This now makes me wonder how often library people are being brought in to help with cases.
Like dead body,
And-
like, yeah.
I'm picturing just like,
This
just a classic librarian like walking into the police office like, who needs me today, lads?
It's my time. It's finally
Yeah.
arrived.
Shh.
A picture of the
I'm
paper.
picturing that it's like almost every case. Like there's a weirdly specific crime show now
Yeah.
that's like the librarian.
Almost like Castle, where he's an author,
Yes.
but it's
Yeah. It's like Bones, but instead of bones, it's books.
books. He's brought in as a consultant.
I'm here to look at the books
Show
and
me,
marry you.
show me the paper. Show me,
And then they do like a visualization of every book ever.
Yeah.
And they're like,
show me the font. Oh, that
Yeah.
is
Times New Roman. Damn, that's most books.
that is casino font. It's from this book from the 1920s decade edition.
It's
Anyway.
not Arial. It's Arial Bold.
The glasses, come on. So a picture of the piece, a picture of the piece of paper was even published in the paper with the hopes that someone would come forward, like with their book that was missing the piece.
They dog-eared the pages. They're a maniac.
The binding on this book has been altered. Anyway, moving on. Someone did come forward on July 30th. Ronald Francis,
Yep.
which was a pseudonym given to the man by police to protect his identity.
It was actually Ronald McDonald.
He came forward with the book after seeing the article in the newspaper the day before. Now, there is some uncertainty about the circumstances under which the book was found. Some reports
Yeah, it's a bit suspicious.
Some reports say that it was found a week or two before the body was discovered, suggesting that the Somerton Man had been in Adelaide for a longer period than other evidence, such as the suitcase. On the other side of that coin is the book was found just after the discovery of the body. The where it was found is less divided, in an unlocked car inside its glove box, which was parked on Jetty Road, Glenelg, which is about 500 metres from the beach.
Yeah, right. I remember the story being that someone was just sitting in their car and someone yeeted the book in.
Not quite. The story goes, boy, because this was handed in a little while after the body's discovery.
Yeah.
That's when Francis' brother, it's when Francis' brother got in the car, he saw it, but thinking it belonged to his brother, he put it in the glove box for safekeeping.
Okay.
Francis, seeing his brother do this, assumed the book belonged to him and thought nothing of it until the news article.
I'm just saying, if one of you puts a book in my glove box, I'm asking you about that. Like, what are you doing? So, okay, so somebody's probably just walked past, dumped it in the car.
Dumped it through the window, yep.
Okay.
I'm going to say the Somerton Man dumped it in the window.
Well, how do you know it was the Somerton Man, not the person
Because
who
he
killed
had
him?
the piece of paper in his pocket.
How do you know it wasn't the person that killed him?
That's right. It could have been the person that killed him, ripped out the piece that means the end.
And the end. Because he's killed him.
The piece of paper and the book were a match. They used microscopes to match the tears up. So they were pretty-
Are you telling me the librarian couldn't just tell?
No.
Oh.
They got the forensics in and microscope.
The forensic librarian?
Yep. Also, in the back of the book, there were faint indentations of 5 lines of text. I use the term text loosely, as looking at it, it just seems like random letters. For example, the first line is WRGOABABD.
Okay, so somebody's writing a cipher.
At first, it was thought the letters were a foreign language before it was realised it was a code. A range of code breakers from amateurs to experts were brought in and all ended up being unsuccessful at cracking it. As of now, it is considered to either be the first letters of each word in a sentence or form some sort of shorthand rather than code.
Right.
And it seems the meaning behind it will never be ascertained. So they still don't know what it means.
Ooh.
There was one more thing found in the book, a phone number. It belonged to a nurse named Jessica Thompson. She lived in Moseley Street, Glenelg, which is about 400 metres north of where the body was found. Initially, when interviewed by police, she said she had not known the dead man or why her phone number was in the book. However, she did report that in late 1948, an unidentified man had attempted to visit her and asked her next-door neighbour about her.
Oh, this chick's sus.
From 1949, Jessica had requested that police kept her name out of the permanent record. That stayed that way until 2010, when Jessica's family finally gave permission to disclose her name. Many people, mostly police who investigated the cold case, believe Jessica knew the identity of the Somerton Man, including her own daughter Kate, who said so in an interview with Channel 9's 60 Minutes in 2014. So we will come back to that later on in the theories.
Sus.
In a strange coincidence, Jessica admitted to owning a copy of the Rubaiyat in 1945 and had given the book to an army lieutenant named Alf Boxall while she was working in a Sydney hospital. After the war, she moved to Melbourne and married. Not Alf, someone else. I do say his name later. She said that she had received a letter from Alf and replied informing him that she was now married and there was no further evidence that Boxall attempted to any more contact with Jessica. As a result of that, police would suspect Boxall as the dead man. Only one small problem with that. Alf Boxall would be found alive and well in July 1949, still in Sydney, and his copy of the Rubaiyat was completely intact.
Ooh. Okay.
That theory.
So he had the Rubaiyat.
Yep.
But he didn't have the ripped piece.
He didn't have it was a different version, and the Hamud Shard was still
there.
Still there. So that covers pretty much all the tangible evidence from the time of the first investigations. Now, do we want to cover some theories first, or cover the supposed solution, which I believe isn't official either?
Let's go with the theories, because the supposed information has come about recently.
Yeah, and I've got that at the end. So this section is creatively titled Theories.
Yeah, you weren't really,
I
weren't really
off.
stretching for that one, were
I
you?
dropped off a bit, yeah. I think there was kids screaming in the background while I was doing this part.
Theory 1, aliens.
No.
Oh.
The first theory suggests that the Somerton Man was an international man of mystery, a James Bond 007 type, a spy.
What?
Do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, you went the same way I do.
When I hear international man of mystery,
Yeah.
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
Ian Fleming, Mike Myers. Do I make you horny, baby?
Yeah.
Several of the items found on the man alluded to him either being from the US or at least visited the US, such as his coat.
Mm.
It was made in America
And that comb.
and it wasn't imported,
Yep.
as well as the aluminum comb.
The thread.
No, the thread's British.
Was it?
Barbour is a British brand of waxed canvas jackets.
All right. I forgot that bit.
I
They
didn't
make
actually say
lovely
where it was from.
corduroy. They have lovely corduroy collars on there.
The aluminium comb was also also US made, and the Wrigley's Juicy Fruit gum.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The taste that's gonna move. Yeah.
Also, the fact that there were two sites relatively close to Adelaide added to this theory. The two sites were the Radium Hill uranium mine
Yep.
and the Woomera Test Range, a military research facility.
Woomera.
Woomera seems
Sorry,
more
it's Woomera.
relevant.
Woomera.
I've been there many times. It's
Okay,
Woomera.
I'm sorry. Woomera Test Range. The man's death also coincided with the reorganisation of Australian security agencies, which would culminate in the following year with the founding of the Australian Security Intelligence Organisation.
ASIO.
The spooky guys.
Following that,
I don't get the same vibe from ASIO as I do from like MI6 or like the FBI or CIA or like.
they're literally like
I'd say they're
the counterparts.
I'd say they're way spookier.
I guess because you've probably run into them at some point. But for me,
You think I would, but I haven't.
ASIO to me just seems bumbly. Like, I don't know why, but just in my head, Australia doesn't seem like a spy agency kind of country. What?
You do realize that we built an antenna system that's
Sure.
the size of like 10 houses that allows us to see around the other side of the world. It can see past the horizon.
Sure.
And no one knew about it for decades.
I am not saying
We're sneaky.
I'm not saying that we're not. I'm not saying that ASIO is not good at their job. I just get the vibe that we're not.
It's because it's
Did he also compare ASIO to, did you say the FBI?
No, he said MI6 as well.
I would have said like the CIA is more.
Yeah, the CIA.
I did
as
say
well.
CIA, FBI.
Well, FBI is more like our
They're-
federal police.
That's federal police,
Yeah.
the Bureau of Investigation, yeah. Versus the
Anyway,
intelligence
all right,
agency.
I'm done. I am done talking smack about ASIO.
The reason
Please don't investigate
it's
me.
because they're chill. Because
If-
they realize that we've got this big island in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
We just wait for people to come to us. They don't have to go like,
Listeners,
It's really easy to spy when they have to swim here.
yeah.
listeners, if next episode it's just me and Sean, ASIO's got
ASIO's
that.
got Aaron. Yeah.
Oh, jeez, if they
Welcome
get me,
back to Cheeky Tales.
if they get me between recordings tonight, that'll be pretty impressive.
They're just boop. Back to Cheeky Tales. Just-
So yeah, that helped with the foundation of ASIO, and following that, Australia would crack down on Soviet espionage as revealed by intercepted Soviet communications.
Oh yeah, because the Soviets were a thing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Bolshevik Revolution at the early part of the 20th century.
So that's where that supposed he's been whacked because he's a Soviet
Yeah,
spy.
I can see that.
Yeah.
To me, even now, that feels like the most likely thing that he was a spy and he got whacked.
Or that he wasn't a spy, someone thought he was a spy and he
Yeah.
got whacked.
Mm.
Because it's a bit specific.
Yeah.
Like, but not specific enough. Like, if he was attempting to pose as an Australian man, having decent clothing, a pretty normal eclectic collection of stuff, an American style suit jacket, and the comb and everything.
There wasn't
like
even
that.
Vegemite in his stomach, so he's
Yeah,
not doing a very good
it's-
job of appearing Australian.
Yeah, it's not as if they like had him with an Australia flag in his suitcase and and like all that sort of stuff. Like, I feel like that.
Southern Cross on his chest.
Cork hat,
G'day, mate.
Yeah.
khaki shorts. Anyway, so this next part sort of ties into the next theory that Jessica Thompson, the nurse, who had her phone number in the poem book, actually did know the Somerton Man. In that interview with 60 Minutes in, I got 2013, I think I said 2014 earlier, Kate Thompson, Jessica's daughter, said that her mother told her that she lied to police and that the Somerton man's identity was, and I quote, known to a higher level than the police force. Kate also suggested that her mum and the Somerton man may have both been spies, stating Jessica taught English to migrants, was interested in communism, and could speak Russian, although she would not tell her where or why she had learnt it.
Oh, man, this theory feels like it's got legs too.
And the fact that she disclosed she used pseudonyms or something and didn't want to keep her name.
Yeah, she was super shady. Hey?
Yeah.
She requested her name be kept out of official police records, and I didn't include it, but now that you brought it up, in the book she had given to Boxall, she had signed it, not Jessica, but it was like Jestr, like G-Stir or something like that.
Yeah, it's like Jeston, capital J, capital, I'm looking at, capital J, capital E.
Mrs. Somerton Man scribbled out, oh, shit.
Yeah, it said Jeston written with 2 capital letters and 5 lowercase letters. 4, sorry. And then had written out a particular verse from the book. It's spooky.
Yeah, I bought a book from the Tumun Shud.
All right, new theory that I believe. It's that one.
Okay.
I'm in on that.
Leading from there, let's have a look-see at the other reasons people speculate that Jessica knew the man. Have a look-see.
Have a bit of a look-see.
She was brought in to view a plaster cast made of the Somerton man.
Oh, yeah, this bit.
According to the detective sergeant, he described her reaction to seeing the cast as completely taken back to the point where he thought she was going to faint. Also, years later in an interview, Paul Lawson, the technician who made the cast, said that when Jessica looked at it, she immediately looked away and would not look at it again.
To be fair,
you
are looking at a dead body.
No, the plaster cast.
Oh, the plaster cast. I mean, he's still dead, so it's going to still look dead. But I reckon she's in on this.
It's a pretty lifeless plaster cast, man. It's a bust. There's a picture of it.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have a picture of it.
That is
right, yeah.
Literally about the least spooky thing.
Yeah.
That'll be a picture on the social. So I've already got the coded letters will be a picture, the plaster cast. If I can find a picture of old mate leaning up against the thing, we might chuck that on there. But yeah. There's also a suggestion from Rachel Egan that Jessica's first child, Robin, was the son of the Somerton man, which would make him Rachel's grandfather.
Yeah.
They lodged an application for the Somerton man's body to be exhumed for DNA testing.
Got a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% Somerton man.
We got another...
okay, we're just not going to react to that? Sure. Screw you.
Yeah, just go past it.
Okay. So another identification theory is H.C. Reynolds. This comes from an Adelaide woman handing in a US identification card that was given to foreign seamen during World War I. They were trying to match facial features between the card and the cast. Results were initially very good with anatomical similarities in features such as the nose, lips and eyes, as well as a mole on the cheek, which is marked as a unique identifier.
Yep.
Disproving this theory, though, is that searches of the US National Archives, UK National Archives, and Australian War Memorial Research Centre failed to find any records relating to a H.C. Reynolds. Independent researchers believe the card belonged to Horace Charles Reynolds, a Tasmanian man who died in 1953. So yeah, not him.
Okay.
That's not the bloke.
Seems like everything except
the spy.
The spy stuff is just getting disproven.
Yeah. So that's the theories of the who. But remember, we still don't know why either.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple of theories of why.
Okay.
First one is suicide by poisoning.
Yep.
The Rubaiyat's theme is that one should live their life to the fullest and have no regrets when it ends.
Okay.
So that's like...
maybe he's like, oh, I've done everything.
Yeah.
Time to chew this cyanide. But
again, there was no foreign substances found in the body.
Yeah.
And the only hypothesis there is that the poison used was like a cardiac glycoside, which are difficult to detect in the body.
Yeah.
Which means, yeah. So there's also like other theories relating to possible identifications that he went to go see this Jessica or someone else, divorce and stuff like that, and that's why he's ended up committing suicide because yeah. Continuing the poison theory is that Somerton Man was given the poison by someone else, unknown and unseen, but linked to the spy conspiracy. Like this was a hit in the spy world. There really isn't that much evidence to support either of these theories, though. But it's thought that he was poisoned. even though there's not really any evidence.
There's no evidence to it, but it just seems like
But there's nothing else.
It to me, it seems like like it just seems like a simple answer to the like it fits everything. It makes sense. It's a little bit spooky.
Huckham's razor.
Occam's razor.
Occam's razor.
Yeah, well, I said it weird, didn't I?
Glenegg.
I said Occam's razor. I thought you were going to go with Wahockam's razor.
Occam's razor. Just give me a schmear.
Oh, yeah, like Wahockam's razor, like cheese. Wahockan cheese.
So the recent update.
Yep.
Yeah, there is a recent update.
Very recent, isn't it?
As
Like
I
last year.
mentioned before, a request was made to exhume the body for DNA testing in 2013,
Scooped him up.
but multiple times it was denied.
Yep. Oh, why? Why were they denying it? Who's trying to hide it? Conspiracy confirmed.
Actually, it was Jessica's family was trying to deny it.
Why weren't they the ones that were asking to pull it up?
No.
I believe before
How do
Jessica,
they have any right to say no?
I believe before Jessica died, she was the one saying no and all that kind of stuff.
How? What? But
I
nobody
don't know.
knows who this bloke is. Why are they listening to her?
There was an attorney general who was saying also like there needs to be more public interest in the case for him to approve the exhumation of the body.
Right. So that's why all of a sudden everyone cares about it again.
Yeah. However, in October of 1920, not 1920,
1920, 25 years before this happened.
in October 2019, Attorney General Vicky Chapman granted approval on the 19th of May 2021.
Ooh, let's go. Get your shovels.
Sorry, and on November 9th, and on 19th of May 2021, the exhumation was carried out.
Yep.
Sorry, it wasn't.
Get your shovels, boys. We're going digging.
Actually, there's a photo of that too, like the ball bearers
Yeah.
with a police escort. So that might make the socials.
Good.
They plan to match DNA extracted from the body with possible relations and try to identify the man. However, back in March of 2009, a University of Adelaide professor named Derek Abbott announced that he would attempt to solve the case. Good on you, Derek.
I like that he announces that he attempts to solve it. It's like a 1950s, like, and now I'll reveal my trick. Like,
Private Eye, yeah.
Pulls down like a big sheet. And
It's like it's a heist movie.
You're gonna love Derek, boy.
With the help from some of my friends.
We got Wacky Steve.
He first tried solving the case through attempting to crack the code found in the Ruby app.
Yep. Didn't
happen. No. He would then try.
Turns out I'm not qualified.
He would then try matching dental records and found that the Somerton Man had a rare genetic condition called hypodontia,
I think you should hyperdo.
Hypodontia of both lateral incisors.
Yep.
Where's the incisors, boy? You know you're all about
Incisors.
teeth and mouth and
Well, they're inside somewhere. Aren't they the spiky boys?
yeah, I believe they're the spiky boys.
Yes.
That is a feature only present in 2% of the population.
Yeah.
Abbott then acquired a photo of Robin, the elder son of Jessica, and noted that, like the Somerton Man, Robin also had hypodontia. This being a coincidence was estimated at being between 1 in 10 million and 1 in 20 million.
Okay.
So not likely it was a coincidence that
No.
they both shared the same.
So it's like 1 in the Australian
15
population
million,
currently. Yeah.
After discovering that Robin had died in 2009, Abbott contacted Rachel, who was living in New Zealand at the time. The following year, Abbott and Rachel married, and they've had 3 children since.
Okay.
So our mate's just investigating this
Yeah.
bloke hooked up with supposed granddaughter.
This is not a Cheeky Tales recommended dating technique.
No. The family has a picture of the Somerton Man in their home, believing him to be family.
Sure.
However, Rachel...
That's just a bit weird.
Yeah. However, Rachel... Well, it was earlier on too. He released, was it 2017? He released a guess of what he looked like
Yeah.
done up a drawing of him. So Rachel had a DNA test,
Turns out she's 100%.
and those results found that her grandfather was Prosper Thompson, Jessica's husband.
Okay.
Yeah, very
So-
high. Yeah.
Very high chance that her actual grandfather was actually Jessica's wife. So
Yeah.
kind of throwing out that
So the Somerton Man is not related to her.
While
Yeah.
much of the DNA was degraded, the University of Adelaide team obtained a high definition analysis of the mitochondrial DNA from the hair sample of the Somerton Man.
Mitochondria is the power.
Mitochondrial.
so that DNA came from like in December 2017, Abbott announced that he had found 3 hairs in the plaster cast of the corpse.
Yes.
And that's where he was getting those DNA tests
Right.
from.
They found that the Somerton Man's DNA belonged to haplogroup H4A1A1A, possessed by only 1% of Europeans. However, mitochondrial DNA is only inherited through the maternal line and therefore cannot be used to investigate a hereditary link between Rachel Egan, Abbott's wife, and the Somerton Man.
Okay. So we got no answer.
Pretty much.
Cool.
July 26, 2022, so last year.
Yep.
Abbott announced that he had determined the identity of the man, and that was Carl Charles Webb.
Okay. Carl Webb, the famous Broncos footballer.
No, not him.
Ah.
An electrical engineer and instrument maker born in November 1905, so that puts him in that 40 to 45-year-old range.
Okay.
Abbott claims the DNA from the hairs found in the death mask matched 2 distant cousins of Webb, both on the paternal and maternal side of the family. Photos from a Webb family album appeared to show the Somerton Man during the 1920s. So, and this was on an Australian Story, I think. They went to like these people's house, like descendants of Charles Webb, found photos and went looking through and went, oh, this. And they kind of tried matching facial features through those family albums to, I guess, the cast and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So we know it's him.
Forensic Science South Australia, who were still investigating, declined to comment on Abbott's findings, and South Australian police had not verified the result but stated they were cautiously optimistic that this may provide a breakthrough.
Okay.
That's not confirmed in any official sense.
But we got something.
Got something that it's this Carl Webb. And there's a whole story of Carl, how he moved. He was apparently abusive to his wife, and then he kind of disappeared. And then in 1951, his wife put an ad in the paper saying, look, I'm going to divorce you if you don't show up by this date because you've deserted me. And so, yeah, there's a whole story for Carl.
And he
Webb.
couldn't because he was dead.
Right. One last tidbit, boy, that for this could be Carl Webb.
Is it a titillating tidbit?
Oh, it is, boy.
Ooh.
Is that Carl's oldest sister married Thomas Gerald King, and they had a son named John, who died in World War II in 1943. And John had possessions that imply that he lived in the US at some point.
Right.
And they only lived about 20 minutes away from Carl.
Right.
So it's theorized that it was quite possible that he could just go there and get John's possessions up from when he lived in the US. That's how we got all these things that
All the American stuff.
the American stuff. Also, remember how I said all the labeling on the clothes were removed?
Yep.
Not all. There were 3 labels left on the clothing, and they were marked with T. Kane.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, Carl's older sister was married to Thomas Kane.
Okay. So there you go. It's him.
So it does look like it could be Carl Webb.
Yeah.
Just from those things. And
It's Carl.
And the DNA testing and all that kind of thing. But I guess until we get an official
Police
announcement,
Yeah.
I guess it's still an ongoing cold case or mystery.
I wonder how many people are still working on it right now.
There could be a few. Because like I said, this is only less than 12 months old, all this kind of stuff. So
there must be like people in Adelaide Police still working on this.
Possibly, yeah.
There you go.
And that, boy, is the up-to-date tale of the Somerton Man. What do you think?
I purposely stayed away from knowing what the like recent updates were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're onto something.
So you no longer believe he was a spy?
I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive.
Okay.
I think he could still have been a spy, but knowing who he is doesn't change that.
Yeah, okay.
Still up to some spooky stuff.
It does seem like there's a lot of evidence that Jessica knew and...
Oh, she knew.
yeah.
She knew.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt in my mind that she knew. Just weird stuff.
I have walked past his grave many times, as I just discovered. He's buried in the West Thames Cemetery. I used to cut through there all the time.
Yeah.
It's a shortcut.
Buried in there, marked as the unknown man.
Yeah.
There you go.
I have spent a lot of time around that because it's for those that haven't been there, the West Terrace Cemetery is a very big public open cemetery on the side of the major road West Terrace. If you are cycling, walking, anywhere that connects where I used to live on the western suburbs of Adelaide to the city, it's very common to go through it.
Yeah.
People have picnics in there.
There you go.
I don't know. If you've missed it before, Sean did live in Adelaide for a while. So
6 years.
One of the other reasons why I wanted to pick this story, because Sean would know the place well.
As you saw
Have
it.
you been to Glen Egg Beach?
Got me. I have been to Glenelg Beach.
Yeah. Have I been to Glenelg Beach?
You have been to Glenelg Beach.
Yeah, that was the one with the jetty, wasn't it?
Oh, well, there's a photo of you and us. There's a photo of
In
you
the
and I
bedroom.
eating ice cream. That's
Yeah.
that's at Glenelg Beach.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I never
2/3 of the
realised
cheeky
I'd
boys
been
have been there.
Yeah.
2/3 of the 33.33 recurring percent of the cheeky boys have been there.
I've only ever been to Sydney and Townsville, so yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Good story, boy.
Great story.
Yeah, one of apparently I've heard it before, and I know you've heard it before.
Yeah.
Boy,
I haven't.
but one of Australia's most infamous mysteries, which now potentially could be solved.
Yeah.
We do love a mystery at Cheeky Tales.
Yeah.
It's just that there's not that many that are long enough to warrant a full episode.
Yeah,
Mystery is just undiscovered history.
very cool.
Very cool.
Good stuff. All right. Well, as John said, hit us up on @CheekyTalesPod
Oh, yeah,
on
bit of an
Facebook,
outro.
Twitter, and Instagram. John will have some photos up there that will help you visualize this kind of grizzly tale.
For show.
I have-
Show.
I have a shout out if that's okay.
Go right ahead.
I know it's at the end of the episode, but I know he'll still be listening to us. Shout out to Sam West from the One Reg band that I play in as a guy that listens to it every week and then tells me in person his feedback on the episodes.
Oh, nice.
And I
Nice.
very much appreciate it.
Thank you, Sam.
He tells me every single week after I got him listening to it when we were driving back from Sydney. He listens every single week and gives me feedback on it.
I feel like we've had a comment from him.
Probably have.
Yeah.
Probably have.
Well, hello, Sam. Thank you for listening.
Thank
Really
you, Sam.
appreciate it.
Like I said at the start of the episode, you know the drill, man. You know what was happening. You know who's who, what's what
That's right.
we do.
Actually, I think we've got a couple of shout outs to make.
Mm.
Congratulations are
Oh,
in
yes.
order for one of our very loyalist listeners, Jazz. She had a baby a little while ago.
Oh.
Uh,
Cheeky Tales fan, super fan. Yes.
Yeah. Jazz,
Gonna have to get some Cheeky Tales rompers.
congratulations.
Made up.
Yeah. Congratulations to Jazz and Mitch on their little girl, Sadie. And we couldn't forget little
And that's
George.
it. There's,
Yeah, wrap it up.
that's it. See you next week. Thanks for listening. Good night. No.
We've mentioned Cheesy a number of times in
have,
previous episodes. He's the one that loves my yawning. He and his wife Sarah have welcomed little baby George into the world. I held him the other day. He's very tiny. So his legs don't reach the end of a 444 onesie, which was cute. Triple zero. 40. One of the numbers, whatever. His body
40.
fits in it. His legs are too short.
X amount of zeros. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Welcome to the world, little George and little Sadie. Congrats, friends. Anyway,
Cheeky Tales newest listeners.
yeah, get them on it. They got a backlog now.
Still have to come up with a slang term for the listeners.
The Chicos.
The
Cheeksters.
The Chiquitos.
Chiquitos. Yes. Oh,
Oh,
Chiquitos.
some chiquitos.
Some Chiquitos.
Chiquitos. Wow,
Oh,
that is
wow,
in.
that was-
Yeah, Polo wants to get in. All right, well, let's wrap it up. We're rambling now. Congratulations to our friends.
Yep.
Hit us up on Cheeky Tales Pod and share with your friends. Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.